All right. Book review time. Before we get into the book review, I want to thank you for hitting the subscribe button. I also want to thank you very much for watching 30 seconds or more of the ads here. That's how we get paid. I also just want to thank you for watching these videos. I do a lot of book reviews. I do a lot of movie reviews. I do a lot of TV series reviews. I do a lot of writing videos. I do a lot of videos. All for your enjoyment and your pleasure. And for my pleasure, I get to sometimes read a good book. For instance, The Neon Owl, Book 2, Sunset Squeeze by Chad Lutzke. Now, I'm going to say this, I'm going to admit it. I'm very fond of Chad as a person, very fond of Chad as a writer. I found him as a writer first years ago. Loved his stuff, love his style, his minimalist, let's just give you a story without pages and pages and pages of descriptions and all this filler stuff. You know, Chad takes a 80,000 word story and he condenses it to a 40,000 word story, and it's just 10 times a better story, if that makes any sense. If my math is correct. Excuse me. No, I'm leaving that in. So, The Neon Owl is a more of a crime thriller book, okay? The original that Chad put out years ago. And I enjoyed it. Loved it, in fact. Absolutely loved it. I was like, you know what? This is a good book. I want to read more of these characters. I want to read more of these Chad Lutzke books. These are the Chad Lutzke books that I love. Now, I thought it was a great book. I'm trying to look here. It came out in 2020. Okay, 2020. Humorous dark comedy, dark humor about law and crime. Those are some of the bestseller ranks that book is in, okay? 69 reviews, 4.2 on Goodreads, 167 ratings for that first book, okay? Then, not too long ago, I read Avonwood Exodus. Chad's back in the writing game. Chad had taken a breather for a little bit. I don't know if you knew that or not. He kind of announced it, but most people, just for like clueless. Where's the next Chad Lutzke book, right? We're all telling him, right? Get back in here, man. We need you. We need your voice. I know if Jay Wilburn was still alive, he would have been hounding Chad to write more books. Okay, because he's got a really good, really solid voice. His stuff is really solid and good. The Neon Owl Book 2, Sunset Squeeze, no exception. Okay, no exception at all. Obviously, I didn't do a video review of The Neon Owl, the first book. Came out many years ago, and I was still trying to figure out YouTube and all this stuff. Now I'm here. Will I go back and do a review? No, I'm not going to do a review. I'm going to give you my review right here, right now. This is I was about to say, it's worth the wait for this sequel, but 6 years, Chad, come on. Don't give me 6 more years. I don't want to read in 2032. I don't want to read The Neon Owl 3. Okay? You have to jump in and give me more of these characters. I love The Neon Owl. I love the Efficiency Apartments. I love Jinx, who took it over. I love his sidekick. I think the two of them work so freaking well together. The problems with the strip club across the street. We have a missing dancer, and Jinx and his boy are called Rodney. Are called into Rodney, right? That's his name. Are called into take over, look for her, figure out what's going on. And I think for me, one of the strongest things is just the character. Okay. So I'm looking at something real quick because I'm drawing Roddy. Why do I think Rodney? Roddy. And I'm leaving all that in. I literally just finished it. Loved it. And I think it's a great addition to hopefully which will be a long series. I know Chad's not really big on series, but you have a gold mine with these two main characters. And I think we need to have more, especially a couple of the big twist at the end. I think that just lends even more books and more characters coming and going and whatnot. So this is a good book. If you like Chad's work, you're gonna like it. If you like, I look at it, if you like Carl Hyacin, if you like Tim Dorsey, if you like those type of books, you like what's the show now that Carl Hyacin, R.J. Decker. If you watch that TV show, you're gonna like these characters. There's great humor and interaction back and forth between our characters here, and I love that. There is I don't do spoilers. I'm not gonna do all that. I will say there's a part in this which I love. So Jinx has a van. He's a big jazz fan. Okay, you want to come up here and talk about what Chad Lutzke books with me? And this better boost the ratings. And he's a huge jazz fan, and his van is named Coltrane, and they are doing a stakeout, and they're staking out a cop, and the cop comes running over to the van, and then things happen, everything's cool. And I think the funniest part was somebody said something about Coltrane, meaning the van. And the cop's like, which one of you is this Coltrane? And I don't know, I laughed. I LOL'd, laughed out loud on that. I thought it was a funny line. There's some very funny, clever lines in this. And I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Chad's books. Look, I love all of his stuff. I've read most of it. And I think when he's writing like this is my favorite stuff. Neon Owl 2. Avonwood Exodus, I thought was also up there, top 3. So Chad's only getting better as he's releasing books, as he's writing books. So I implore you, Mr. Lutzke, to continue to write books like this. I want to read this stuff. You have a fan. You have a lifelong fan here. And I'm friends with him. I get to be friends with him. In fact, Chad hangs out with me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube Live, here on YouTube, noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to come and praise Chad, pop in. He'll talk all about his favorite band, The Accused, or his favorite author, Joe R. Lansdale, who, here's a little segue. Praise for the Neon Owl came from Joe R. Lansdale, Hap and Leonard series, and so many other great books. Joe says, terrific stuff from Chad Lutzke, who manages to take tired tropes and set them on fire with passion and originality. That's a pretty good blurb from one of the masters of writers of this and every generation. So Chad is quickly getting to that point where, we in the writing community, we always talk about what genre do you write? So I say I write crime thrillers and I write horror. And when somebody said, "Well, what does Joe Lansdale write?" and you say, "What is the genre?" The genre is Joe Lansdale, and I think Chad has a chance to have where people will go, what genre does Chad Lutzke write? And Chad Lutzke is gonna the answer is gonna be Chad Lutzke writes Chad Lutzke, and that's high praise. I mean, listen, you got Joe Lansdale. I get it. That's high praise. All right, you got to get down. You're jumping all over the place. So I think now we got to do one of those. What do you call it? Oh, wrap up things. I'm so distracted right now. I'm leaving all of this in. I'm going to give it a number out of 5. I don't remember what I gave Avon Wood Exodus, but I'm going to give this 4.7. 4.7. And when I go on Goodreads and when I go on BookBub and Amazon, it gets bumped up to a 5. Kudos to you, Chad Lutzke, for writing such a killer book. And man, please, I'm begging you, we need a 3rd book now. I'm not saying you got to write it tomorrow. I know you're doing other things right now, okay? Talk to you almost on a daily basis. I know you got other stuff going on right now, okay, in your creative world. And I get 100%, I get that. But please at least think about another book in, like, say, the next 6 months or so. The next year. I'll give you a year. I'll give you a year to give me Neon Owl 3. But man, I want that book. We all want that book. So if you have not read this, you got to read this. If you have read it, let me know. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what your review of it. Am I off base? Am I right? Am I good? Am I whatever? All right, Chad. Kudos, my friend. Kudos. And I don't take that light. I don't just throw out reviews. I don't do this lightly, and I also don't. You and me being friends has absolutely nothing to do with any of this stuff. Because I've read some books by friends, and I'm like, I ain't reviewing that book. That book was awful. As a reader, I love this book. As somebody who is who's trying to become something on YouTube, I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate all the comments on my videos. I appreciate you watching the advertising. I appreciate you subscribing and sharing these videos with your friends and family. I appreciate all of you just watching, coming and hanging out with me live 3 days a week. I appreciate all of these things. So, that being said, go buy this book. Seriously, go buy this book.